Mexico. Mexico, country of southern North America and the third largest country in Latin America after Brazil and Argentina. Mexican society is characterized by extremes of wealth and poverty with a limited middle class wedged between an elite cadre of landowners and ministers on the one hand and the masses of rural and urban poor on the other. But, in spite of the challenges it faces as a developing country, Mexico is one of the chief economic and political forces in Latin America. It has a dynamic industrial base, vast mineral resources, a wide-ranging service sector, and the world's largest population of Spanish speakers, about 2.5 times of than Spain or Colombia. As its official name suggests, the Estados Unidos Mexicanos, United Mexican States, incorporates 31 socially and physically diverse states and the federal district. More than half of the Mexican people live in the center of the country, whereas vast areas of the third and arid north and the tropical south are sparsely settled. Migrants from impoverished rural areas have poured into Mexico's city, and nearly four-fifths of Mexicans now live in urban areas. Mexico City, the capital, is one of the most populous cities and the metropolitan areas in the world. Mexico has experienced a series of economic booms leading to periods of impressive social gains, followed by busts with significant declines in living standards for the middle and lower classes. The country remains economically fragile despite the foreign of stronger ties with the United States and Canada through the North American Free Trade Agreement (NAFTA). Land, sharing a common border throughout its northern extent with the United States. Mexico is bounded to the west and south by the Pacific Ocean, to the east by the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, and to the southeast by Guatemala and Belize. Mexico also administers such islands and archipelagos as the Tres Marias in the Pacific and Cozumel and the majorities of the coast of Yucatan Peninsula. Including these insular territories, the roughly triangular country covers an area about 3 times the size of Texas, while it is more than 1,850 miles, 3,000 kilometers across from northwest to southeast. Its width varies from less than 135 miles to 117 kilometers at the isthmus of Tentopiqui to more than 1,200 miles, about 1,900 kilometers in the north. Relief. Geologic origins. Mexico is located in one of the Earth's most dynamic tectonic areas. It is a part of the Circum-Pacific Ring of Fire, a region of active volcanism and frequent seismic activity. Among its towering volcanic peaks are Citlalpipetl, also called Orizaba, which forms the highest point in the country, exactly at 18,406 feet, and the active volcano Popocatépetl, which rises to 17,930 feet. To the southeast of Mexico City, these and other Mexican volcanoes are young in geologic terms from the Paleogene and Neogene periods, about 65 to 2.6 million years ago, are examples of the volcanic forces that built much of the central and southern parts of the country. Mexico is situated on the western or leading edge of the huge North American plate, whose interaction with the Pacific Cocos and Caribbean plates has given rise to the numerous and severe earthquakes as well as the earth-building processes that produce southern Mexico's rugged landscape. It is in this dynamic and often unstable physical environment that the Mexican people have built their country, people, and culture. Mexico is a product of a rich Native American heritage, 3 centuries of Spanish rule, and a shared border with the world's richest country, the United States. Today, many Mexicans are mestizos, which means they have a mix of Native American and Spanish blood. Throughout in history, Mexico has been home to great artists that Maya and the other Native Americans made impressive murals, sculptures, and jewelry. Modern Mexican artists include great painters, photographers, sculptors, and muralists. Mexicans take sourced seriously. In ancient times, losers of racial ball games were once put to death in some dangerous sports like bull fighting and road, which was invented in Mexico. Competitors still put their lives on the line. History. The Olmec people, Mexico's first complex society, emerged in the southeastern part of the country around 1200 BC. They were later followed by the Maya, the Toltec, and the Aztec peoples. Mexico's ancient societies built great cities and huge pyramids, created remarkable works of art, and even studied the stars and planets to determine when to plant crops and hold ceremonies. In the early 1500s, the Spanish arrived in Mexico. The Aztec people got sick from sandplagues and other diseases that the Spanish brought with them. The Spaniards also seized and destroyed the Aztec capital called Tenochtitlan. The Spanish ruled Mexico until 1821. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Remember to subscribe to the Mr. English channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos.